Hello, you crazy people that like loud amps sounding like British stuff. I mean, I don't have to say British, it says frickin' Marshall on it. But do we have some amazing German builder that makes something similar? Yep. Do we have a crazy mofo from California that makes amazing amp switchers and attenuators? Yeah, I just filmed a video for the great Fryette Z-Max if you're looking for an amp switcher, 4x4, 4 amps, 4 caps that can also do impedance matching. That's a different video, but since we made that video, why not shoot out the Lulis? Lulis by Tube Workshop. Super high-end German builder, things made by hand, minus blue lights, all that stuff. It's a 50-watt JCM modification. Why don't we shoot that out against the 100-watt Marshall JCM modded by Marshall? So, let's quickly go through this. Let's go through the Lulis. So, we have a JTM mode here, which is more for low gainy stuff. So when it comes to cleans, trust me, the Lulis beats the JCM big time. Maybe we'll explore that. But you go to JCM and you've got your typical JCM thing, but you have a deep switch, which really does something. You have a bright switch, which really adds a lot of top end. It's a very, very precise amp. And if you wanted more gain, you can kick in, by pulling this, the overdrive, which is SD1, because that was Uwe Lulis from, except that's his signature amp. And that was his favorite, boost. So loads of gain on tap. That's what this thing has. It also has a 3-button foot switch. It has an amp B out, so you can actually hit a foot switch and it goes to a second amp on stage, you know, and it's got, of course, an effects loop. JCM800 Modified by Marshall is a JCM800. Don't touch the gain because it's got a bright cap in it. Is going to sound like ass if you were rolling that back. It has a 3-position, what is this? It's got a mid shift, which is actually pretty damn cool. It really shifts the mids. It's got a 1 times more gain, 2 times more gain switch, which adds, I mean, there's a lot of noise now. Adds a lot of gain. And there's a tight switch, which really cleans up the lower end. One interpretation of modifying a JCM, a pretty different interpretation of modifying a JCM. Let's check it out. How are we checking out? Warehouse speakers are in this Coffee Custom Caps 212. It's blue, which is why it sounds better. I mean, if this was blue, hell yeah. But no. We're miking this with a Sennheiser MD421 Compact and an AEA N22, which is kind of Royer 121-ish. It's a big ribbon. Speaking of big ribbons, in the room is an AEA R88 Active, which is a big stereo ribbon. You can't see that. It's about a meter away. For the room tone, we're mixing that all together. And I'm employing the Fryette Z-Max for switching. Switching I do with the Kedem 6, which is on the floor. That's a MIDI switcher from the company Judas. Very inexpensive, beautiful MIDI switcher with touchscreen, all that stuff. Loads of options. There's a video on my channel. I also use a guitar. It's an Ibanez RGT 1220 PBKCOL, I think. It's a neck through. I mean, Ibanez really did well with this. I can't say it any other way. That's a rock thing. Those are rock things. It's blue, it's blue. That's not blue. So here's the amp 1, cap 1, 16 to 8. All good. This is the Lulis. Let's start clean. Why not? Can I even? I have to go into the low mode. Low input. So we're gonna have to go bright. Right? We're gonna switch. Also good. What I love, you can actually get the overdrive in and kind of get it shaping without the drive. Turns this into a real Strat with the in-between position. comes to the cleans, I think the Lulis has a few more options, considering there's an actual gain knob for it. JTM isn't necessarily its clean channel, but it behaves more clean. If we kick in the depth, we're here now. Both nice, a couple more options up here. You know, that's not, I know that's not what you want. So we're gonna get those things out. Gonna go back up here. Gonna go bridge. So that's the Lulis on the JCM mode, gain halfway up. Yeah, you can actually play with the gain, which on the JCM800 you cannot because it's gonna sound bad. Back to the Marshall. Since the deep is in, that Lulis really pushes in the low end. So we're getting that out. But the Lulis is more aggressive. It's tighter and way more defined. But the Marshall has that mid thing happening. Definitely not the same here, right? Definitely loads more low end, which is tough to do because the JCM has a lot of low end. Let's see. Honestly, if I didn't know that the Lulis had JCM800 as its uncle, wouldn't think it's the same amp. It behaves differently. It is quite a bit more aggressive, quite a bit more precise, right? Okay, let's kick in gain on the Lulis. The Lulis clearly has a mid-honk in the 1-2K area somewhere, which really cuts through a mix. This sounds a bit more rounded off and sweeter there. This is a bit more aggressive. Once you switch back and forth, you hear the Lulis all of a sudden really coming in that mid-range. Let's kick in the deep. And the bright, maybe. Use the tight on the Marshall. Oh. Which gets the low end up. Mid shift. Mid-shift really does something, but we are pretty much at all the gain the Marshall has, and I'm sorry, but it's a fantastic sounding. Okay, that was it. Is the Lulis a JCM800 with a boost? I don't think so. It is. I mean, it says JCM, and that's where it came from. But it is voiced actually rather differently. It's more flexible with the bright and the deep. It's more flexible with the lower gain things because you don't have to replug things and you can actually just switch and change the gain and stuff like this. So it's a bit more, has a wider range. However, I do think that with that very attacky top end and high mid bump that's there, this is a much more aggressive amp. If I had to pick what do I do, then the Lulis is the metal machine because it cuts through, whereas the Modified Marshall is sweeter. It's got balls, it's got power, this as well, but differently. This is more of a big guy leaning against the wall, pushing. This is a very strong guy hitting it really hard with spiky little nails. This is a rock monster. This is a metal machine. That's how I would describe it. Can I do rock with this? Yes. Can I do metal with this? But honestly, if I have both, and I do, they're both mine, I will use this for the rock and the classic and the 80s, and I will use this for when I want to cut through a mix and have my riffs very precise. This makes me work a bit harder because it reveals my playing more than this. The Marshall smooths out my playing a little bit, which is, of course, fun, but it doesn't make me a better player. This is asking me to be better. That's what I found. Nobody paid me for this video. I did reviews for both amps, watch them. Friends with both companies, so I'm not in any way beholden to anything. That's what I found. That's what I told you. That's what you heard. And now, animals at the end.